Welcome back to the How-FixIT channel. In this video, we're diving into the brand new iPhone 16 Pro. We'll tear it down piece by piece to see what's new inside. If you're interested in the teardown of the iPhone 16 or the iPhone 16 Pro Max, you'll find links to those videos in the description below. Before we get started, let me show you the tools that I'll use for this teardown. A screwdriver set, plastic pry tools tweezers, a suction cup, and a screen disassembly tool. You can find links to all these tools in the video description below. So, let's get started. The disassembly process is fairly similar to previous models. We begin by removing the SIM card tray and the two screws near the charging port. Next, we'll remove the back glass. To do this, I'm going to heat the edges of the back glass with a regular hairdryer. If you're using a heat gun, set it to 90 degrees Celsius to soften the adhesive. This is a safe setting for the iPhone back glass. At first glance, the adhesive seems quite strong and may not let the back glass separate easily. But here's a tip. Apply some isopropyl alcohol into the gap between the glass and the frame. Insert a pry tool and carefully work your way around the edges. The adhesive will loosen with time and steady pressure. With the back glass opened, we now have access to the battery and other internal components, which is great because removing the back glass is easier and safer than removing the screen. With the metal brackets removed, we must disconnect the battery to ensure the device is completely powered down. The rear glass cover houses the wireless charging coil, a flashlight diode, and a rear microphone. I appreciate this design because it allows for easier replacement if the back glass cracks. The Taptic Engine, also known as the vibration motor, remains unchanged from earlier models. Similarly, the loudspeaker module has the same design as the previous iPhone. One thing that surprised me is the new charging port module. It's now much easier to replace if damaged. In older iPhone models, the charging port was integrated with the lower microphone, making the replacement process more complex. Apple has retained the adhesive pull tabs under the battery, making battery removal easier. Gently pull the tabs to release the adhesive. The iPhone 16 Pro's 3582 mAh battery offers up to 27 hours of video playback, slightly larger than its predecessor for better battery life, especially with the efficient A18 Pro chip. Now the battery has a metal casing that makes it more resistant to accidental damage, such as from sharp tools like tweezers. Moving on, here's the Earpiece speaker module and the Wi-Fi antenna, which is glued to it. The Face ID module is still made up of the front camera, dot projector, and infrared camera. The LiDAR sensor, as before, is a separate module from the camera, but it's no longer glued to the chassis, making it easier to remove. The iPhone 16 Pro's camera system includes a 48 megapixel main camera, a 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a 12 megapixel telephoto lens. The logic board is the last component remaining, but the display cables are still connected to the back of the board. It's safer to disconnect the display cables first, before fully removing the logic board. Now, let's move on to removing the screen. If using a heat gun, set it to 80 degrees Celsius to soften the adhesive, which is safe for the iPhone's screen. Place the suction cup near the bottom edge of the screen and gently pull while sliding a spudger along the seam to loosen the adhesive. Removing the screen takes steady pressure, so be patient. Insert a plastic pry tool and carefully work around the edges. Once loosened, gently lift the screen, being mindful of the cables connecting it to the logic board. As with previous iPhones, a flexible cable with a sensor is glued to the display. You'll need to transfer this sensor if you replace the screen. Now, let's move on to the logic board, the heart of the iPhone 16 Pro, the A18 Pro chip. This 6-core CPU, 2 performance and 4 efficiency cores, delivers incredible speed and efficiency. The 6-core GPU handles the device's powerful graphics, and the board also includes 8 GB of RAM. Regarding the new control button, it's integrated into the same flexible cable as the power button, making them a single module. With the iPhone 16 Pro now fully disassembled, let's summarize. I'm impressed with how accessible the internal components are, especially thanks to the easily removable back cover. The metal casing on the battery adds durability, and the charging port's modular design makes it easier to replace. Overall, I'm pleased with the internal design of this device. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share your opinions on the new iPhone 16 Pro in the comments. For a more detailed guide on disassembling and reassembling the iPhone 16 Pro, check out my other video, which you can find linked in the video description below. Thanks for joining me on this teardown. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and be sure to check out my other teardown videos. See you next time.